Well, since it's a silly season, we're going to do a video on something rather silly, hidden under this beautiful Christmassy looking old sheet, or doona cover, or whatever it used to be. I don't know, I use it for rags. But this is probably the silliest thing I've wasted $10 on in my life, just about. But it's sort of so kitsch, it's kind of cool. And I present to you the Redneck Boombox. Quite the piece of work, this thing. Don't know who made it, unfortunately, but have to say it's rather good. So we've basically got this concerta bin, which if you look at the top of it, which is unfortunately a bit broken, it says if the lid's sealed, it's a vegetable crisper. If the lid inverted, it's fruit and small goods. Not quite sure what that means, but it is some sort of food container, possibly for storage in the fridge or something. I think they came out maybe in the 80s or something. Attached to that we have a Philips 648 car cassette player, one of the low-end sort of $80 jobs with AM FM radio, no push buttons or anything, just a auto stop cassette player, and matching speakers. At least they're the proper matching Philips ones, mounted in the sides. And we've got a bit of duct tape there, or gaffer tape. That's definitely mandatory on any redneck invention. And even more important when it comes to redneck inventions is we have a piece of seatbelt recycled as a carry handle. It's definitely not genuine redneck equipment if there isn't a car seatbelt involved somewhere. One of the most useful pieces of construction material known to man, that one. And I haven't really had a good look at this thing. I just thought it looked kind of cool and interesting. Shame it's missing one knob. But it's certainly one of the weirder things I've ever seen. I could almost imagine a manufacturer actually having put out something like this once upon a time. Now, assuming this runs off 12 volts, I'm not sure it's meant to be a site radio, maybe a tradies ute or something you could have used it on the back of. Or whether it was for camping, picnicking, no idea. Look at that beautiful pointy screw that's, you know, sticking way out with a very sharp point on it. Perfect to stop anyone stealing your instruction manual here. And fiddling with your boombox arrangement. Here's a couple of nice, very well cut round holes there for the speakers. And what do we got here? Some figure 8 cable. I think they did say at the tip shop that they cut the original cord off this or something because they tested it and it worked, but I think it was frayed or something. So I guess for safety reasons, we've got an earth wire there. I think these are just the speaker wiring. A bit more duct tape. That's proper duct tape, that one. So there's that bit. And we've got a piece of wood holding the back of the unit up. That's what I like to see. Is it actually attached to the bottom? No, it's not. Extra points for not attaching it to the bottom of the case. It's just there to prop it up. More duct tape here. We've actually got a piece of mains cable joined to a 12 volt connection, I assume, like a DC power cord off an old power adapter or something. So again, extra points for quality work, and I'm going to give them extra points if I can find the end of this duct tape, if they've just poked the wires into the plug in some dodgy way, which I'm pretty sure they will have. Oh no, wait, I think, have they? No, they have. I think they've definitely, I can see the active is going into the end of the DC plug, so no proper socket there, and the neutral wire is just duct tape to the outside, I would say. It has to be to the barrel there, so that's pretty good effort. That then goes into this terminal block. Looks like it's been salvaged from an old oven or something. So extra points there. Extra points for cutting the fuse holder off but leaving the cover of it there, where it does nothing. So the earth here, the green wire to the earth, it's got a proper spade terminal on it. That is your negative. This one's your positive, unfused, which is excellent to see. Very thin wire, another excellent thing to have. So that basically that thin wire is about as tiny as it gets, so that'll probably act as a pretty good fuse if anything goes wrong in this thing. Should burn that up quite nicely. We've got one of the terminals here is used for joining a bunch of speaker wires, and the so that'd be the negative speaker cable probably. And then we've got a little terminal block again Yeah, green and grey, that'll be the positives to the speakers. We've got the entire length of speaker wire in there that came with the original speakers, which is good to see too. Should always make sure you put all of that inside the door of your car or something if you're installing these things. Or even better, cable tie it up under the dash somewhere where it can all fall out onto your passenger's feet. And I think that's about it. We can test this thing. Oh, what have we got here? We've got some sort of paperwork stuck into the antenna socket. Oh no, it's a piece of rolled up insulation tape. No, it's not insulation tape. It's got something green on it. That is double-sided tape, I think. So insulation tape wrapped around double-sided tape. That's the sort of quality construction I like to see on this channel. Unfortunately, the antenna seems to have been taken away. So these car radios definitely need at least a bit of wire hanging out of them to operate. We've got more duct tape attached to gaffer tape. I wonder what this gaffer tape, we've got some little spacers made out of. It'll be interesting to see what, probably the pieces of plastic they cut out to do the speakers, in fact. Why have we got gaffer tape there? Not sure. But I guess all we've got to do is hook up 12 volts. I hate to undo their beautiful wiring job here, but I think we'll remove that DC. Well, I guess we should test. That's no fun. We should test if the DC connection there actually works by stripping the main cable off. And better make sure we're polarity conscious here. Which one's going to be the tip? Extra points if it's not the white one, because who knows what this came off. But if the one with the trace on it isn't the tip, then that's extra points for, yep, for likelihood of people hooking it up the wrong way around. Ooh. Oh yeah, there we have it, sort of. No, the trace wire is actually positive, goes to the active colour. Well, that's not very redneck of them. Oh well, we can hook that up to 12 volts and see if any smoke comes out. I guess we should be offering extra points if they've already let the smoke out by hooking up the wrong way. But then again, we know this has been tested. Oh, we've got that mounted upside down, have we? Excellent. So we've got tone, volume, balance. That's probably a tone volume. Yep. So we've got the plate mounted upside down just to confuse anyone who wants to use your equipment without your permission. So we are on, I think, at that point. We don't have any current draw. What's going on, people? Well, that's not very good. Let's see if we've got voltage here. Maybe these connections are just a bit too dodgy. Try not to impale ourselves on these screws sticking into the cabinet. Oh, we've got 12 volts there. What's wrong with you? They told me this thing works. I take it back and get my $10 back. Yeah, that's definitely the tuning. Despite what the plate tells us. Well, I feel completely ripped off. I haven't got the power supply on. Well, we know that because 12 volts is going in. Well, that's a bit of a scam. I can't believe I bought a quality unit like this and it doesn't work. Why is the screw up high there? That rings a few alarm bells. We may have to bypass some wiring here. Ah, there we go. Touch the connector with the screw that's way too high and we have sound. And tone. Listen to that quality stuff. Well, thankfully it lets us somewhere to poke my earth wire antenna into. Well, classic FM. Every redneck's favourite channel. That sounds better. Now that's the more sort of music I'd expect to come from this unit. So we've got mono, U, stereo, dunno. We're on stereo because we've got a stereo light which doesn't match up with the front panel piece there properly. Good to see Philips putting out a quality unit there. They've already got some redneck cred there before anyone even purchased this thing. That sounds like AM. M, medium wave. U, what is U? Those crazy Dutchmen coming up with some weird symbols there. Stereo. I'm guessing that's unstereo. There you go, UF/FM, M/PO. That sounds like a term that a redneck would use, is PO. And do we have a working cassette player? Well, there's no old tape chewed up in there, that's disappointing. Do I dare to insert a tape in there? Let's find something we really don't like. Don't think that's on. What happened to those love songs? Oh, the best of Gabby, that'll do. Nothing happened. What? Oh, now it's working. Oh. Well, I don't think that's a very good recording on that tape, but I'll be damned, it works. Here's our love songs. That's a pretty quality tape when it works. We'll get the vibrations out of the speaker now. Ugh. What good is not having auto reverse on this thing? Got to bash it a bit to get it to work. Pretty sure one channel's down. I know one channel's down on everything. We're probably out on the balance. Very scratchy on the tape player. All good cheap car cassettes should have at least 30% of the volume range is pure distortion. Oh, made in China, so it's not as old as I would have thought it was. So this is probably 90s they came up with this thing. Do we have any information on it? Like when it came out, we got rusty staples. That's made to China. Ensure that this label is intact at the point of sale. Trade Description Act 1972. Well, it's got an old Trade Description Act. Guarantee certificate is on the apparatus. They even call it apparatus. How fancy is that? Do not remove nuts. I definitely recommend you don't remove your nuts, as damage may occur. We've got multiple languages here, including Suomi. Whatever that is. FM stereo light up on a stereo. Yes, we get that. Stereo reception light LED. That's part of the directions for use. Strongly recommended to only use C60 and C90 cassettes. Use good quality cassettes. I wouldn't put good quality cassettes in this thing if I were you. Hold the cassette with the open side to the right and the full reel towards you. Insert the cassette in cassette compartment. Push button, springs forward. Playback starts now automatically. For fast forward winding, press the button 7 halfway until it locks. Press button once more to stop fast winding. Playback will then be automatically continued. Oh, we didn't try that. Well, it did a little bit of fast forwarding, but it automatically discontinued. Oh, it worked this time. Oh yeah, so it locks in that mode, and if we press really hard, unfortunately it doesn't shoot the tape across the room like it should. After extended use, dust and grime can accumulate on the magnetic head. The effect is diminishing high notes reproduction. In case of severe contamination, reproduction of one of both channels may nearly totally fail. This can be remedied using a cleaning cassette at regular intervals, once or twice a month, and playing it through like an ordinary cassette. Put the cassettes back in their boxes immediately after use to protect them from dust and dirt and to prevent unwinding the tape in the cassette. Never expose cassettes to heat or direct sunlight, which normally is what happens in cars. Don't leave them on the seat in a 30-degree day because they will warp, and then that's why they chew when you shove them back in your cassette player. We've got interference suppression. Oh, no we don't maybe. The degree of interference and hence suppression depends upon the make and type of car. So in other words, up to the car manufacturer to supply it. Generally speaking, the following may serve as a guideline. Ignition coil. Insert a 2.2 microfarad capacitor between plus BAT 15 or SW terminal of the ignition coil and earth. Also fit a braided strap between the engine block and mounting screw of the coil. If coil is located on mudguard, where an electronic ignition system is used, consult your dealer. Oh, if it's on that. Yeah, I was going to say it's a pretty old car these days if it's got your ignition coil on the mudguard. Yeah, and then we're going to other languages. That's our diagram of those bits. We've got our connection diagram. And that's about it. Cassette storage. We saw that. Well, that wasn't much fun. So this thing sort of works. That channel's definitely down. We broke it. Whoa! That's more like it. I think we've hit the end of the tape, so that must have got rattly at the end. Top quality stuff, so even got some sort of light in there. Does that mean this dial's lit up? Oh, it actually is, I think. Enough to at least find where the radio is in the dark. Well, I don't think I can live with that thing being upside down much longer. Might have to fix that. I guess we should investigate a little bit more of what's gone on here. But I think I might remove that deadly hand trap made out of a bit of seat belt and some builder's tech screws that are massively inappropriate in their pointiness and length, and naturally they're all different head types. Couldn't possibly make it out of screws that are all the same. Oh, well, that's stuck in there. Oh, no, we do have two same screws on this side, and they look like they came out of the car they got the seatbelt out of, so that's extra points for that. Except, shouldn't have used two of the same. I think this tape was put on by the tip shop that sold it. For some reason, mainly to hold that lid together, I think. Let's have a look at the quality under here too. These should pop off, shouldn't they? There you go. Well, those speakers have survived well. Bit of dust on them. And it looks like they've got the original manufacturer's screws. I noticed on the inside they've actually got the original manufacturer's little clips that you can put in the card in your car. Because naturally you'd be putting these in a car that didn't have front speakers in it and be sawing big holes in the doors. Preferably through all the metal work and in a way that makes the windows stop working properly anymore. Yeah, they got the proper clips, so that's quite a nicely cut hole. Philips Auto Radio, high efficiency, high quality, 22EN8873, max 20 watts at 4 ohms. And there's that beautiful bit of wood holding that in place. Why? Oh, I've lost a bit of tape. So, you know, it's not bad, $5 each for these quality speakers. I'm pretty sure I got my money's worth there. And dual cones, and they got a silver dust cap. So we're talking top quality here for your budget conscious motoring enthusiast. But I have to say they've got pretty good magnets on them, so that's something, I guess. Nice grills. Probably genuine steel. Yeah, from the sort of noise it makes. Let's take this bit off. Maybe not quite like that. And it certainly sink down on the front panel. These nuts, can't really get them off with a nut driver easily. I must admit, Philips didn't give an awful long range. Most of these used to come with quite long shafts and stuff, but really whoever made this should have put it in a bit deeper so they don't stick out as far. Now I'm probably seeing why they didn't put the front on properly, because it's a bit of a pain to change it. Oops, it's on the floor. But always the rarest part of any car stereo is that bit and the knobs, because they come off and people never put them back on. So nice bit of wood. Oh, we've got a nice V cut in it for the bottom of this unit. It's actually got a ripply sort of bottom. Not sure what you're supposed to sit in there, but it's got quite a bit of sawdust on this, so I'm guessing it maybe was a workshop radio or tradies radio. Probably this guy actually made his fortune out of having a patent on the Makita worksite radio. I reckon this is an early prototype of that big selling unit. So we've probably got the original prototype here. Now, that's the original mounting point on the back of the radio, and probably earthing point. This is some quality. It looks like a piece of an old louver door or something. Oh, what does it say here? Oh, radio. They've even written that that hole with a cross in it is for the radio. Don't know how you could miss that, but maybe he made that piece a week before putting it in this unit. Maybe they had to take it to work to borrow their saw or something to cut the thing. That feels a bit like someone's had it out before, but we are talking Chinese quality here. All these units just have that perfect cheapo feel to them. Good to see the Chinese copy that vibe. We've got a little twist tie in there. What an awesome mechanism we have. Oh, I've got a Mitsumi tuner in here, so that's a bit fancy for a Chinese made thing. So maybe it's just assembled over there. We have a, what sort of motor we got? Can't see a brand on it. It does have a brand on it, I think. Does it have a date, I wonder? We've got some of that Band-Aid like material in there. I'd like to see that in quality units. Does this just come out? Oh, there's our amp chip. I think you've got to undo the controls. Oh, they're already undone, aren't they? I actually want to see what this thing's made out of now. It's loose, but it's not really loose. I guess we've got to take the front off. Nice bit of corrosion on the bottom of it, so it's been a bit wet at times. Maybe they actually kept their vegetables in here with it and put it in the fridge occasionally. You never know, it could have been a dual purpose kind of unit. I see a couple of clips. Wow, look at the quality of that. There's our little lamp. So what is holding this together, if anything? Oh, nothing basically. Just a bit of wiring. Look at that mechanism. That is definitely a cassette mechanism of the year right there. Do we have a date on this thing? Of course they faced the label where you can't read it. That mechanism's amazing. That is complete high tech. Not many people ever saw the inside of one of these things because they really weren't worth taking apart. If they broke, you just chucked them out. So this is a bit of a world exclusive here, I think. Let's see what it's really made out of. There you have it. We do have a black stamp on here. I hope this is not a tension mechanism. Could be. So, alright, if we put the mech in, maybe we can see it better then. How does this work? What releases you? There we go. Well, the motor's an SHC2R. Maybe related to the SHU2R motor's got the same sort of label on it. Not actually sure who made them. High quality caps in there. Amazingly, the belt's actually perfectly good in this thing. Got a second belt there. And yeah, it feels like a quality mech when you push on that and it goes in. Where the head's absolutely filthy. So we better give that a clean so we can get the full hi-fi range out of this thing like it is meant to do. Because like the manual told us, that will ruin your frequency response. Oh, let's put it back together. We've got a TEA chip from Philips there, a AN chip from Matsushita there, Mitsumi tuner. Interesting little symbol there, probably whatever company made it, but it looks like they must have at least bought the chips off Philips. We've got a TDA output chip. TDA 2005. So it's not a complete rebadge job, I don't think. There are bits of Philips in here. At least bought some of their semiconductors. And it's actually got a quality control sticker on it. As you'd expect from a quality unit like this. Looks like it does have some sort of noise suppression inductor there. Got a fuse in it. It's even a white one, so is it full of sand or something? It might even be. And I just noticed this has a feature that no one else has ever bothered to advertise on the unit. MSC, mechanical speed control. Is he telling me that motor doesn't actually have any sort of electronic speed control? It's just got a mechanical governor or something in there. It's so primitive. But someone at the sales department thought that's a feature definitely worth advertising. Well, who wants any of that fancy newfangled electronics causing all those problems when you can just have a good old governor type mechanical speed control in your motor? I mean, it's not like they were in the 80s or 90s by then. Why not go old school? Since you're going to be installing it in one of those cars with the ignition coil on the mudguard for sure. So why not have the same technology inside your cassette player? Now I can't get it back together. These quality moulded cases, it's kept in there. Oh, here we go. Just got to release that bit and it goes straight back together. So the important screw, the one that holds the amplifier heatsink down, it seems to be cross-threaded or something. So good to see they did a good job of that. It sort of tightens up though, so that'll do. Better get our special wooden device back in place. And see if we've improved the sound quality of this thing. Good to see some nice pencil work there marking where to cut the holes. Oh yeah, and we got our, oh, one of them's fallen off. No. Oh, here it is. This is our quality spacers for the front. As expected, they are made out of the pieces cut out of the sides. Don't know what they've been doing there. Looks like someone's had a drill bit bouncing around on it or something. Well, they probably have, because you know, when you got really blunt drills, they just travel all over the place, even on plastic. So these were obviously sticky taped onto the unit so they didn't fall off during assembly. What you're doing to assemble it, that you need to sticky tape them on, I'm not quite sure, but maybe because it's such a hard job to jiggle this front plate on. But I mean, it's not like they don't have shafts to hang off or anything. You'd think that would be enough. Well, it goes on quite simply, and we even got it around the right way. I must admit, that's a really nice snug fit in there. That piece of wood is cut to perfection. And now I see why they didn't screw it down, because there's actually ribs in the bottom of this case, this refrigeration food container or whatever it is. So that fits in there perfectly. That's 100% solid. So it's a 79 AC648/80S. Not sure what all those Phillips model numbers meant, but they'd like to have a big long model number Phillips with usually a slash something on the end of it that only Phillips knew what it meant. Though, come to think of it, I think they were country codes sometimes. But if we change that name to Concerta bin, then that would be much more appropriate. We could pretend it came from Radio Shack then. But I guess converter bin means you buy it and convert it into a boombox. I mean, that's what the name says, isn't it? Convert a bin into whatever you like. Now, are we working? Well, we've got some sort of noise. Uh-oh. Oh, we don't have an antenna. Better reinstall that. Uh-oh, I think I broke it. No! Uh-oh, we don't have any change of band at all. What have I done to it? And the tape deck's making funny noises, I think. Oh, the tape deck's running. Ah! That explains why we don't have any radio. I think I broke the volume control. Should have given that a clean, I guess, while I was in there. Second channel's coming back. Uh-oh. The tuning's buggered. Ah, I can't get the tuning to go down all the way. Uh-oh, I can't get it to turn at all now. Uh-oh, I've shouted it. What happened? Well, let's at least check if the tape works. Oh, much better. Well, it makes a change from Linkin Park, I guess. Now, what have we done to... I've broken the tuning somehow. It moved down alright, and then it stopped. And we've got a slippy... I shouldn't be catching on anything there. I didn't really touch the tuning. Well, it's even more redneck now, because it doesn't tune. Oh. What has happened to this weird pointer assembly? Did I do something to that? I think I might have. Oh, this has actually slipped out of here. What the? Oh. Ah. Is this pot somewhat... No, it's not loose. They join together. Well, normally... Oh, they're not joined together at all now. What the flippin'... That slides sideways. That's what it is. Come on, slide, you bastard. it's got one of those wonky things that can slide around even when they're out of alignment. Check out this thing, that's pretty amazing. We forgot to look at the wonky plastic. It's actually got plastic hinges on it, so I wonder that thing's lasted this long, but gotta give it to them, they used quality plastics in those days. But why did that slip out? Is it because this was in the wrong spot, a bit loose? Don't know. Maybe it came a bit loose when I pulled it apart. And gave up soon after I put it back together. I'm not really sure. Oh, this quality tin plate. Oh, I just found the fuse holder too. There's our fuse holder. They kept that down inside here just in case it was ever needed. So that was very thoughtful of them. In with all the sawdust and stuff. So you could have actually put this thing back together and put it in your car one day. Now that's what you call very thoughtful people. Good to see people thinking like that. They kept the book in here, they kept everything in here other than one knob they lost. And one of my pet hates is having these shafts showing. You should never have your shaft showing in public. Pair up your nuts in there so that your shaft is out of view, because it looks terrible. But to be fair with this one, you kind of need it because you've got this overhang of this container here. But it's usually a sign of poor workmanship if the shaft is hanging out in the breeze like that. Now, we're completely dead. I've broken it again. What have I done? You mother... Oh, we got a dodgy power connection, haven't we? Well, it's extra dodgy now. I've broken it completely. What the... It's one shit show after another with this thing. Come on, power, where are you? Have we dislodged our... Oh yeah, maybe we've dislodged our awesome connector there. No. What the... Haven't unplugged the power supply. Oh, for God's sake. This is why I never touch redneck boomboxes. Because there's too many redneck connections in there. So I fixed the tuning, but we've lost power. What a shock that is. I've still got 12 volts there. We've kind of got 12 volts there somewhere. You son of a... Oh, better be careful I don't short this screwdriver onto the case of this thing. Oh, the power supply, I saw it flicking a little bit. I wonder if that's... What have we got here? Redneck soldering job. Makes no fucking difference. It's trying to do something. Light on the power supply flicks like something's happening. Nothing. Well, it was off then. Oh. This is a dodgy cassette switch. Oh, it didn't work the first time I tried. So we've got some other issue there. Oh, now disconnect the antenna again. God damn you. Well, the tuning just disconnected as well. But at least we've got the cassette player going there. It died in the bum again. We've got a dicky connection somewhere. that. Ah, so something in there is dead. Whoop, there it is. And it's off. Maybe one of the wires came off or something. Oh, if I press down on it, oh, there you go. That's working as intended. Press down on it and it works. Let up, it goes off. Maybe it's something to do with how our tuning slips out. Oh well. I think I'll give up on it at that point. We got it sounding good on cassette again, so that's about all that was needed to be achieved. But for some reason that tuning, as you come down the band, slips out. It was actually bulging a bit out of this front bit, so that's probably just the glue falling off. Geez, why did I tidy up my bench? I can't find anything. Yeah, right quality there, look at that. It's only attached at the ends, I don't think it's even glued in, it's actually just press fit. That's why this, because that's really going to do my ADHD in if I don't fix that stereo light that is half covered by a bit of cardboard or plastic or whatever it is. It looks like we can slide that along. Oh, look at that. I fixed it. Now we can actually see the stereo light properly. Quality Philips manufacturing there. We've got a loose front bit with another piece of loose plastic behind that. Always a good idea to put loose things on a car stereo that is in a low vibration environment. Oops, now we've gone too far. Because why would you need anything to be glued down? But I think what's happening is this is bulging up a bit, so maybe that tuning part is coming across and bumping on that or something. But it's too high-tech a mech for me to fix, I think. It's just, you know, that flexible plastic stuff. So I think we'll call it quits at that. Oh, we've got to put our instructions back in. And it's great having a see-through lid so we can see the quality workmanship. Oh, I see, this has got a little pin on it. Let's get rid of some of this plastic tape. Oh, the other one's missing. Damn, oh, the corner's missing. But we did have pins that go in these slots by the look of it. So it must go the other way around. I have to know how this thing works now. We put that in and slot it in. And that's hit the end, is it? That hits the end, but it doesn't. Oh, well, it doesn't really fit, does it? So why do they got slots? Oh, maybe there were pins. There's no pins there. That's how it should sit, I think. The pin's barely even in the hole. So that's a bit of a weird design. Oh, I see what you do. Huh. So that's the closed position, and we can just push on this. It's a bit like the refrigerator or freezer at the supermarket or something. You can slide that back to access your vegetables or small goods. Oh, wait, we can invert the lid too, that's right. What happens when we invert it? It doesn't crisp your vegetables, it fruit and small goods. We go the other way with that? No, it can't go on the other way. We slot it in there, the pin comes up, and we can still slide it back and forwards the whole way. I have to say this thing is genius. I'm really upset that I don't think you can buy these anymore. That is some brilliant 80s food storage technology there. I mean, look at these feet on it. It's a nice rib base so you can mount your car stereo with a piece of wood without it moving around. Definitely quality. It's a real shame this case is not in mint condition anymore. because that would definitely be worth putting to use again. And I guess I should better put the handle back on this thing, because what is a boombox without a seatbelt handle that stabs your hands as well? Well, at least 2 of the screws were the right way around. Even folded the ends over. So high quality work there. You can tell this person was well versed in the use of seat belts for everyday object repairs and everyday construction of objects. You know, you're talking a very good construction person when they're well versed in the use of seat belts for everything. Because, you know, having old cars lying around in your backyard is a great source of improvised handle material and other uses. You should never let things like that go to waste. But there it is, the best redneck boombox ever built, I think. But unfortunately I ruined it a little bit by pulling it apart. So kind of ruined my $10 worth of value there. But if I get a Makita sticker and put it on there and fix that tuning thing, I'll have myself a great sight radio. I guess I just got to find a lithium ion battery to put in there and a Bluetooth connection, and I'll be the envy of the entire work site when I rock up with this thing. And as an added bonus, I can keep my lunch in there and it'll be nice, fresh and crisp. So thanks for watching.